guys, it's Kelly. Hey, I was going to show you, I've got some designs here that, like this card right here, I think it's really pretty. Like, you could totally get away with this and it'd be really, really nice, right? However, it's funny how simple changes will make this, in my opinion, so much better. I could rock and roll with this and it'd be fine. Now, these are from the Simon Says Stamps Best Year Ever, I think. I love this stamp set. It is like the best happy birthday stamp set to have in your stash, in my opinion. I just absolutely love it. You can either stamp it and then like mat this, or you can get the dies. I did get the dies because I'm so in love with it. And you can die cut it out. And then I do like 3 copies of it and make it like its own embellishment so it's nice and thick. Hopefully you can hear that. But I could totally just do this card like this and be done. So cute, so perfect, no problem. This is a red cardstock that I'm using for my card base. I could be done with that, and that would be nice. However, simple changes will totally change this up. And let me show you what I mean. I got some yellow, some white, some purple, some red in here. But I decided that I was going to do this simple design. I love simple cards. I really do. Really like them. So what I thought would look nicer is if I just cut this to mat it with some yellow to kind of bring out that yellow in there. And bring some polka dots in here like that. And then put this on there like that. And then a little Love from Lizzie's sticker right across this top, in black, to kind of tie that in. And that makes it way more interesting, in my opinion. So even if you just go like this with the yellow on there, I think that even alone makes it a little bit better. Just a teeny tiny little 1/8 of an inch. It's probably more like a 1/16 of an inch on the outside, how that's matted. Even that makes it better. But all of them are nice, but the simplest ways to just gussy something up that is still really simple, I don't know. I'm always, and the reason why I'm sharing this is because there's a lot of people out there. I love some of these Facebook groups that I'm in. They're people that are new to card making or mixed media, things like that. Such a cool community we have. Just really kind people, and just good hearts. And I think a lot of us, and I used to too, I used to get really stuck on my design and think that it wasn't good enough. And it was upsetting because I'd be like, well, no, it's not good enough. And then I'd waste it. And then, oh God, I would feel defeated. And that's not why I do this. I do this craft to, be like, oh my gosh, look, that's so cute. I made a fire, blah, blah. So I wanted to share this and show that sometimes less is more. Sometimes. With simple little, like literally, this is just design paper that matches. I didn't do anything special. And all I did was cut it to mat it. So my card base is 5.5 by 4 1/4. This yellow base is an 1/8 of an inch smaller. This one is 1/4 of an inch smaller. And this one just is 1.5 inches. Super simple. And I think that just adding these little tiny things on here, I truly think that makes this card so much better. Not that there was anything wrong with it the first time. You could do it that way and be perfectly fine with it. Oh, that's not long enough. But these simple changes can really make a huge difference. These stickers are so convenient. You don't need these stickers. You could just cut a strip of black paper and get the same stinking effect. I just happen to have one right here. You could just put that on there and that would be good enough. A little thicker than I'd like, but that was just the one that I grabbed. There's nothing wrong with it. It works perfectly fine. Put that on there. And that looks great. You know what? I'm going to use that strip. Glad I found that. Just fits right on there perfectly. So, yeah. I want that to be the exact same size. So let me measure this real quick. Bear with me, because I changed my plan, which is, the story of my life. Yeah, so this one is just 4 inches across. So I'll cut that at 4 inches. So these tiny, tiny little changes that you can make, hopefully you guys can see what I'm doing. I'm just going to cut it in here. Simplest for me. These tiny changes that you can make to your design, I think make a huge, huge impact on the end result. But yeah, the Loves from Livesey stickers are so convenient, and you can get them in sparkly, you can get them in all kinds of different things, all kinds of different designs. Oops. I like to have those in my stash. I think they're a staple, and the price point on them is fantastic. In my opinion, it is a staple. And Christy Marcotte, I learned about those from her. She is an amazing card maker. She sits and makes like billions of cards at one time. I'm like, dang girl, she's just knocking them out like it's nothing. But yeah, she's got really cool designs that she uses. She uses sketches, and that is a great way to do it too. If you're new to it, use sketches. I mean, it's hard to stay motivated and find up with new designs because we overthink things. I think it's just in our DNA. As women, we just, and plus the men that like to craft too, sometimes we overcomplicate things. So I'm just going to eyeball that sucker and put it right there and let it be what it is. There it is. So that's my panel. Oh, I got a little, no big deal. I'll get that right out of there. A little bit of glue. I don't like that to show. Oh, I need this still. So I think that makes it a little bit more interesting. And even if that's a little bit whiter than I usually like, that's perfectly fine. It just wasn't worth fussing and cutting it again. And I've got so many of those really thin strips in my stash. I've got a huge mason jar with all those little tiny strips that I've cut. So it's kind of nice to use them. So there we go. I'm going to put that in its permanent home. With about a 1/16 of an inch all the way around. I really like that measurement. And that's another thing that I found that I really like. And if I remember right, I think Christy Marcotte also gave me that matting idea. She does that on the regular. And I might have got that from her, but I'm not sure. But she's a great one to check out for inspiration for card making. God, I'm totally out of screen. All right. So I think that makes it way more interesting than the first go. And another one would be this one here with just the happy birthday across. So when I find a stamp that I really like and a design that I like, I tend to make a lot of them. So this is one example of, oh, a little sucker. I really love this stamp. So you can either use the die, which I did here. You can either use the die and cut it out like that and use that design, or you can just cut it out into a rectangle. You know, I've got like a little die with some stitching and then mat that with some black. And then you can do it landscape style and put it like that. That's perfect. There's nothing wrong with that card. But I think it would be a little bit more interesting if you took like a strip. Let me see what I got over here. Yeah, I got, nope, not that strip. If you took like a strip of this and ran it just 1.5, okay, work with me here, just 1.5 inches going this way. And that could be another card. Heck, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's just do it. We'll make a surprise. We're going to make 2 cards because it was just too cute. So 4 by 5 1/4 is what that is. And I need 1.5 inches by 4. So I'm going to do 4. And 1.5. Hopefully you guys, oh, you can't even see that. Sorry. Hold on. You get the gist of what I'm doing here. I can make this a little bit bigger. Okay. So we could do, oh, we were doing it like this. So you can put it over however you want. And I think that that looks way better. Totally more interesting in my opinion. And then I have all these little ephemera pieces that I've colored. I've made my own ephemera. I stamped them and colored them. And I'll just spill them all out. And whatever color matches, which, gosh, none of these really match. Yeah, that's not going to work. Well, this one might. It's too pink. But yeah, so I could stamp it again and color it if I wanted to. But you know what? I could just be done with it. Just right here, just be done. I got a purple. I got some candles that might work. Nah, this is the wrong color palette. But that's okay. No big deal. Like that won't work. Yeah. So, but you get the point. I'm just going to go with a card, and this would be the card right here. And there's nothing wrong with it. You can move it over if you want. Make it centered if you want. I kind of like it like right there. So here's my card base. I just happen to have one. So if I just do a plain white card base and I do it like this, is that good enough? No. In my opinion, that is not good enough. I need yellow. Just like the other one. I feel like I need yellow. So let me cut some more yellow. And I mess this cut up every time. So it's 5.5. So I want to do 5 1/8. I want to take 1/8 off is what I'm saying. Oh, I hate that I'm wasting some of this, but I'll find a use for it. And then, okay, so this was just a little bit less. Perfect. And this will be just a little bit less. Just 1/8 of an inch. And that should fit perfectly. Cross your fingers with me. Boom. I like it. So we put that there. We put this here. I might need to cut that down a little bit. And then we put this here. We could even wonky it like that if you want. You do your wonky. It makes it a little too busy, I think. I like clean lines with this design. There's sometimes when I want absolutely not a single straight line in the design, but these, I really like the straight line. How simple. It's so simple. It's just too perfect. I'm just going to have to do it. So, leave that off. So yeah, making cards. Just so that I have some birthday cards ready all the time. Because I'll tell you what, I get caught off guard. Our lives get busy. We forget. You know, you remember, oh, so-and-so has a birthday coming. And then before you know it, you're sitting at work and you're like, oh my God, it's their birthday today. And I'm so not prepared. I didn't do a freaking thing. And then you feel bad. Because you care about them, you know. And you want them to feel special on their special day. But, you know, we're all human. Sometimes we forget things. Oh, that's perfect measurement. Okay, that goes there. And you could pop this sucker up. You can do whatever you want. I'm going with really simple, easy to mail designs. Because if you start adding the tape to give yourself some dimension, it actually creates problems when you mail it. I'm going to try and get this right the first time. And I've had issues where, because the cards are thick, people think that there's a gift card in it, and there's nothing in it. It's just a card. But because I put the dimension tape, the phone tape on there, they open it, they steal it. It's just disgusting that people do that. But they do. It's just the reality of the world. That's the only thing I can think of. Of course, I'm assuming that it gets stolen, because if it doesn't make it to its destination, there must have been a reason. This is off center, and I love it. And the reason is because they got stolen. So whenever possible, I would rather hand deliver a handmade card just to make sure that they get it. I'm going to eyeball this, which is not usually a good idea, but there it is. Little wiggle room. That's why I love that glue. You got just enough wiggle room. So now I'll put this sucker on there. Lots of layers, so it's going to be thick enough even without foam tape. The glue gets it a little bit thicker too, but that's okay. It's my favorite. Oop. And you go in your permanent home. Just like so. Nice. It's a happy card. Like, that is so happy. I would love to get that personally. I would really like it. Okay, we'll put that on the inside here in a second, but I have a lot of people saying, what do you do for the inside? I literally just cut something to size and put something in there. I have this one that's white and ready, and I could put that in there with some matting, which is probably what I'm going to do. I'm going to cut it down and put it in there. I'll see if I can make this work. If I put some yellow and then use this, just cut this down, that should work. I made this for this one actually, so no, I'm not going to do that. Yeah, so this one goes in here like so. Very, very simple on the inside. Now, if you wanted to add, like, have this design continue on the inside, you could use your leftover strips to, like, put on the edge or, you know, however you want. I'm going to go with simple, but that's what I'm going to do on the inside of this one. And then for this one, I will just cut something to size and just stamp something on the inside and do it. So you guys don't need to see me do that. You know how to stamp things. So I won't bore you with that. So we'll just get our card together. And this is a 110-pound cardstock, Nina Crest Solar White. Really, really like that. That's one of my favorite ones to make cards with. And got to use a bone folder to make sure that you get that crease good and burnished so that it stands the way you want it to. So yeah, for those of my peeps that really like to make cards, less is more sometimes, especially if you're doing simple birthday cards just to fill your stash with available cards. This is for a guy or a girl. It doesn't matter. And that's important to me because I don't know. I just want to have them available for everyone. Because I get really, really busy. All right, and this is embossed. I really like to do that on the front of my cards. So there it is. And then I always put my little stamp on there. My business stamp for my Kelly Designs by Kelly LLC. Super, super cheap stamp. No judging, okay? Don't judge. But super cheap stamp that I just stamp on every single one. It's imperfect, and I do that on purpose because that is what I'm all about. I don't like perfection. So just doing it on there super quick, perfectly fine with me. And now you know that it was made by me. Super easy design. So I hope that this inspired you guys to keep it simple. Don't overthink your cards. These are ones that you can use. I mean, if you take some time and just make some of these with, and this is the same sheet of paper, clearly, you can just make them coordinating. You'll save a lot of time and get to use up some of that really pretty paper that you've had. I've had this paper in here that I'm using today in one of these card making kits that I got for probably over a year. And I mix and match it with the new card kits and the new stamp sets that I buy. So hopefully that was fun for you guys to kind of watch, inspired you to do something super, super simple. Let me know in the comments what you think about them. And I will have a lot more to share. I'm doing all kinds of different things lately. I'm doing some jewelry, doing some art journaling, doing some card making. Yeah, all kinds of, and some wax seals, all kinds of fun stuff coming. So thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and share. And I would love it if you would subscribe if you haven't already. I'd love to have you. And then don't forget to hit the notification bell too. So whenever I have time, I do work full time. It can be very, very difficult to do videos and edit them. But anytime that I have time to do videos, I do like to share. So if you would like to see more, please check the notification bell, and I will have more to come. Thanks, guys.